Hello. So today I'm going to make a cheesecake. I had to because I love cheesecake. I'm going to get cracking straight on with it. So we have got 250 grams of digestive biscuits. We have got 45 grams of caster sugar, and we have got 125 grams of butter that has been melted. Mine's cooled down a little bit, but it's fine, it's still nice and liquid. So that is going to be for the base. For the filling, I've got 750 grams of cream cheese. This is Aldi's version of Philadelphia, and it's just as nice. I've got 4 whole free-range eggs. I've got 300 ml of sour cream. I've got 2 tablespoons of cornflour. I've got a little bit of lemon juice. I've got some vanilla extract, and that is it. I'm going to be using my electric hand mixer. I've got a 9-inch springform tin and some parchment paper. So what I'm going to do with this is just put a sheet of greaseproof parchment, baking paper, whatever you call it, on top of the base. Let me just move that out of the way. I did this earlier and I thought, really, I should have taken that off. Set the tin open, sit it over the top of the paper so it catches, and then close it tight. So you have got paper coming out the edges, but it's absolutely fine. That's what you want, and all that's going to do is just make it easier to take off when it's all done. You're also going to need a large mixing bowl and a round-sided glass. Is that round-sided? That'll do. It'll do as round-sided with a nice flat base. You're also going to need a large baking tin with nice, quite tall sides. This is my cheesecake baking tin because we're going to do a bain-marie. I'm going to stick that kettle on right now because you're going to need quite a lot of boiling water, and you're also going to need some silver foil. So I've got my extra wide foil and then my regular foil. Hopefully I can get 2 or 3 layers out of this. If I don't, I'm going to have to make up the rest of it with that. You need plenty of foil because you don't want any water getting in to ruin that crust at all. So first off, you can do this in a food processor if you wish. I just use my very, very old rolling pin, my wooden rolling pin, and all I'm doing is crushing these biscuits right the way down to crumbs. 250 grams basically equates to 16 digestives as well because I counted them for you. That is as good as done. A couple of big chunks there, and just break them with my fingers because they're really small now. I say big chunks, but compared to the crumbs. That will do it. So I'm going to add in my very soft butter. So just using a spatula, start to combine that, and then you want your sugar, 45 grams, it's about 3 tablespoonfuls. We are going to be baking this base just for a few minutes. You don't really need to. Choice is yours. And this is a kind of a New York cheesecake. It's a few different recipes all kind of bundled together. Just altered up to make life a little bit easier for me. There we go. So they're nicely coated with the butter. And then into the tin. And we're going to be pressing it around just a wee bit, and then trying to kind of ease them up about halfway up the side of the tin. And this is where your glass comes in handy. You don't have to put it up the sides of the tin if you don't want to at all. If you want a nice thick crust on it, like a really thick base, just level it off. So I'm just pushing it down and giving a little twist as I go. To get it nice and firmly up the edges. There we go. That's all pressed in. So this is going to have about 5 to 7 minutes in the middle of my preheated oven. So I've set that rack into the centre, and it is set on gas mark 4, which is about 180. Always helpful to put the timer on. So whilst that is now in the oven, we're going to make a start on the filling. Now you can do this in a stand mixer, you can do it with a hand whisk, but I am using my electric mixer. Let me just make sure that I've got my recipe sorted out ready. So we've got 750 grams of cream cheese. I also drain out any liquid that comes in the tubs. You do quite often get a fair amount. And then I've got my 225 grams of caster sugar. I'm going to mix this together. Started off slow, just to get it to combine. Whack it up to high. Maybe not so high, not too high. Want it light, kind of fluffy if you can, but not too much mixing because it can go quite runny quite quickly. So it's basically keeping an eye on it, seeing how it's going, and then when you think, yeah, looks about right, that is the point where you go, right, no more, there we go. So into this we are now going to add our 2 tablespoons of corn flour. Give that a stir through together rather than beating it for a second. Just get it combined. There we go. And then one at a time, I'm adding an egg. And I'm going to combine that for about 20 seconds for each one. Now the actual recipe calls for lemon zest. I don't have lemon zest, so I'm using lemon juice, and I'm going to put 1 teaspoonful in. And then I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Or vanilla flavour, if that's what you've got. Use vanilla flavour. No probs. Give that a quick blend together. That literally covered me. That's why I don't put it on high speed. Then we are adding our full tub, 300ml of sour cream. Your 750 grams of cream cheese, by the way, that's basically just under 4 tubs. Each tub is approximately 200 grams. It says 200 grams, but I always find they always measure a little bit shy. So, like I say, you need 4. So I can smell the crust now, so that means that that's ready. Yep. Just hear it singing away there. So that's just going to sit there and hang out just while we do this. So I'm going to scrape down and get right underneath the bottom as well. Give it a good scrape to make sure you've got it all combined. And then we're going to whisk it on low to medium for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to pause it and then come back. So it's nice and thick. Lovely, lovely. So I'm just giving it a good stir through, gentle stir through, just to burst any excess air bubbles that may be there from whisking it on high. While that's sitting there, we're going to wrap this tin in foil. So with it being the wider foil, it just makes sure that no water gets in there at all. You can also, if you want to, after you put a couple of lines of cling film on, the foil on, put some cling film on. Yeah, I knew that. wasn't good. Oh, it might work actually. I might just have enough for two. I've seen plenty of chefs on the telly actually cooking stuff in the oven in cling film. Who knew? Apparently you can. Not something I've ever tried on its own, but I have on more than one or two occasions popped a bit of cling film onto that. So I'm going to use another couple of layers. So I don't know if you can see, but that, because it doesn't go up right to the top, you do take a risk of water getting in there. I mean, that's really short on that side, and that you absolutely do not want any liquid leaching through onto that base at all. Where's that short piece? There it is. I was actually going to brush the sides of the tin with some butter, but I'm not going to bother. I'll just use a hot knife afterwards and slide it around. It'll be absolutely fine. So I'm going to sit it in my roasting tin and then carefully pour the entire thing into that crust. Try and get as much out of the bowl as absolutely possible, because you don't want to waste any of that absolutely delicious cream cheese. And then I'm just going to very gently level it across, just to try and get it to cover ever so slightly the crumb without picking the crumb up. Yeah, if you know what I mean. Lovely, lovely. There we go. And then pop that back on for a couple of seconds. I always find this way a lot easier. So I lift this into the oven. And then gently pour in at one edge the boiling water, and you want it to go approximately halfway up the tin. Half to 2/3, no less than half though. And then just pop it all the way in, nice and gently, so you don't spill anything. And then that needs about 1 hour and 10 minutes. So I'm gonna set the oven for an hour and then check it at an hour. Do not check it before 1 hour. So you need to put your timer on, and absolutely do not open that door until it's had at least 1 hour. And then when we have a check of it, we shall see how it looks. You want to have a very slight wobble in the centre when it's had its full time. If it's still really jiggly, then you need to put it back in for the other 10 minutes. But a tiny little jiggle in the centre is absolutely fine, at which point we will then turn the oven off. But I'll be back in an hour and we'll see what it's doing. Let's have a look. That's better. So that is now still slightly jiggly in the middle, but that's fine. That's what we want. We want it still slightly jiggly. So now we turn the oven off, leave the door open a bit, and it sits there for 2 hours. Should have maybe warned you beforehand. This is quite a long process. So once that's had 2 hours sat there in the oven, coming down in temperature, it's then going to sit outside on, probably just on top of the hob or on the wire rack, and it's going to sit there until it's cold. Once it's cold, it's going in the fridge for at least 8 hours. So it's going in overnight basically, so it needs to chill properly for at least 8 hours. That's the only thing about a baked cheesecake. It takes a long time, but it is worth it in the end. So it is the following day, 20 to 1 in the afternoon. So it's had a long time in the fridge. Nice and lovely. So I've got a tall glass with hot water in, nice sharp knife, got brand new clean J cloth, use kitchen roll, and I'm just going to warm this palette knife up, small palette knife. How do those makeup girls do that all the time, dead easy like that? Oh look, there. I can't figure out what my left hand's doing from my right half the time. So dry that off. I'm just going to gently go around the side. I'm trying not to hit any of that biscuit. Just trying to get it where the cheesecake is. And that'll do it. Moment of truth. Gently release. Oh, there we go. Lovely. Now it did leach out quite a lot of butter after it had come out of the tin and I'd unwrapped it out of the foil. So all I did was I put several layers of tissue down, like kitchen roll down, sat it on it and just let it absorb some of that excess liquid butter. And then I actually put it on the little chopping board in the fridge just so it didn't leak all over the fridge. So just pull that back on itself, just to slide it out from underneath. Yes. That is perfect. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. That absolutely does not matter, because I know that is going to taste beautiful. So with my hot knife, wipe the excess liquid off. The only reason I use the hot knife is to get a nice clean cut, basically. Give it a wipe down. Oh, that is absolutely spot on. So there you go. Beautiful, beautiful New York-ish style cheesecake. Please do have a go at this one. Let me know if you do make it yourself. Take some photos, tag me on everything. Yeah, have fun. Like my page, Finish Tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.